How terrifying is Iron-Cutting Swordwind as a hero? One self-created skill, Iron Cut, directly annihilated hundreds of elite enemies. Just a few minutes ago, the remaining 200 Wolf Riders led a charge. Swearing to conquer Wu's realm, he vowed to snatch his Iron-Cutting Swordwind, only to see the Iron-Cutting Swordwind waving 4 Tempest swords at once. The move Tempest directly kills both the person and the wolf together, like a meat grinder on the battlefield. The range covered by sword force can reach up to 100 meters, stirring the surrounding air into slash winds. Split all the Wolf Riders into halves. The situation looked grim. The Wolf Rider captain looked up and let out a furious roar. The skill Frozen Aura activated once again. The power of freezing within a radius of 200 meters, enveloping the Iron-Cutting Swordwind. His legs were frozen in an instant, temporarily losing his ability to move. The captain of the Wolf Rider team also seized the opportunity. The surviving Wolf Riders were driven to unite and charge forward in a grand and imposing manner. But the Iron-Cutting Swordwind remained unmoved. At the same time, he lifted up 4 Tempest swords and interwove them together. Self-created skill. Iron Cut initiated. His words fell. Suddenly, a strong wind arose above his head. Strands of energy rose from the sword and aggregated into a magnificent energy mass in the sky. Soon, the entire sky dimmed in comparison. The sound of the wind was as eerie as a ghost wailing and a wolf howling. A vortex spun around the Tempest sword, shattering the terrain within a radius of 10 miles and leaving behind a large crater. All the elite Wolf Riders turned into ashes. This scene deeply shocked all the students and teachers watching. Oh my God, Hero is too powerful. At this moment, serving as the captain of the Wolf Rider team from Otherworldly Life, also lost vital signs, lying peacefully limp on the ground. How could Gang Zhang, a demigod, swallow this humiliation? Come out, Wolf Rider Commander. Conquer this realm for me. Quickly inside that teleport gate. A hero like Iron-Cutting, the Wolf Rider general slowly walked out. But just then, a voice interrupted Gang Zhang's thoughts. Do you want to break your own agreement, demigod? Gang Zhang quickly looked up and saw that it was the genuine Deity principal. His momentum immediately weakened by 7 points. It's the principal. No, I dare not. Wolf Rider, retreat for me. With that, he ordered the oracle to the Wolf Rider general below. At this moment, the principal's gaze fell on Wu. Then, he took another look at Hero's Iron-Cutting Swordwind. He muttered to himself, not bad. After saying that, his figure disappeared into thin air. After the competition ended, the demigod couple Gang Zhang quickly teleported out of the classroom. The expressions in the eyes of those teachers and students watching Wu also underwent earth-shattering changes. Mei Su gave a piece of advice to Wu. Student Wu, heroes are not invincible. With your current abilities, it's even difficult for you to squeeze into the top 3 of the grade. Wu nodded. Director Su, I have one more request. I want to change classes. When this was said, Letian Liu, the homeroom teacher, was momentarily at a loss. The current Wu Bao is completely different from the past. He tried to explain. Student Wu. The teacher admits that there has not been much attention given to you before. The teacher promises to teach you well in the future. Daily teaching resources will also be tilted towards you as much as possible. Please give the teacher a chance to correct the mistakes. Wu, however, was exceptionally firm. I requested a class change. Letian Liu had originally wanted to bask in the limelight a bit. After all, as long as his strength continues to develop steadily, he can definitely enter a top-tier university. At this moment, Mei Su said hesitantly. Student Wu. Changing classes is not something you can do just because you want to. The school has its own regulations. If you really want to change classes, you have to pass the test arranged by the school. As long as you can pass the test, I can help you with a class transfer. The man made a sacrifice. Sacrifice all 1 billion locusts in the realm. After the ritual ends, 3 items of equal value appear before you: the Alpha battle armor, a large furnace, and 3 watchtowers. Just now, Wu volunteered to take the test set up by the school in order to switch shifts. Seeing her favorite man switching shifts, Shuangqin also promptly offered to switch shifts. Director Su, I also want to apply for the test. Letian Lu, the class teacher, had a wry smile on his face. Classmate Shuangqin, if you have any dissatisfaction with the teacher, you can speak out. The teacher will definitely make changes. There's no need to go as far as changing classes. But Shuangqin, who comes from a strong family background, said, there is no dissatisfaction. It's just that she doesn't want to stay any longer. As soon as she finished speaking, Xiaolong Zhang, who had a secret crush on her, also requested a shift change. Director Su, I also applied to participate in the test. Hearing this, Letian Lu couldn't help but worry. Xiaolong Zhang, you are the class monitor. Why are you joining in the fun too? Xiaolong Zhang smiled and said, Teacher Lu, thank you for your care and guidance these days. But I can't stay in this class anymore. Then he looked at his goddess, Shuangqin, and silently vowed in his heart, I cannot let anyone else have you. Mei Su did not linger any longer. He left only one sentence for everyone. Tomorrow, I will prepare a test for you. Teacher Lu, come with me. After school, Shuangqin found Wu and told me, what's the deal with your hero? Wu responded casually, this has nothing to do with you, right? Shuangqin was a little angry. Of course it's relevant. You owe me 150 MP. If you can't repay it, you'll have to become my slave to make up for it. But Wu said, if you want to collect the debt, I can first repay you 5 MP points as interest. But if you want to inquire about hero information, I have nothing to say. After saying this, Wu didn't wait for Shuangqin's response and directly teleported away from the school, leaving Shuangqin cursing silently in place. Soon after returning home, Wu used the Deity docking module to enter their realm. Although the locust's breeding power was astonishing, after experiencing a fierce battle, the suicide locust could only recover up to 1 million, while the lava locust remained at a mere 30,000. At that moment, Iron-Cutting Swordwind suddenly descended from the sky. Great deity, the escaped wolf rider is hiding in the mine. Should we go eliminate them? Wu pondered for a moment in his heart. This wolf rider unexpectedly did not perish. Dozens of them escaped. Keeping Gang Zhang's family dependents is a nuisance in the end. It must be eradicated as soon as possible. But killing them directly seems a bit of a waste. Soon, Wu issued an order. Oracle, go capture those wolf riders. Make sure they stay alive. They'll be useful to me. Iron-Cutting Swordwind disappeared instantly from the spot. After 2 hours, dozens of wolf riders were all tied up and knelt before Wu. Then he sacrificed all 1 billion ordinary locusts in the realm, along with 24 wolf riders. 3 options suddenly appeared in front of him: Alpha War Armor, Level 1 Foundry Blueprint, and 3 Watchtowers. Wu quite likes this mecha. But locusts lack intelligence to pilot it, not to mention operating a foundry. Are we supposed to rely on locusts for forging? In the end, there's only the watchtowers. He could see his small home on the edge at first sight. It's completely unnecessary. But then Wu had another thought. In his own realm, it seems that he still has received a few hundred dwarves from Binjiang. I wonder how they are doing now. He then activated the power of the eagle eye. Sent his thoughts over. The results made him see that the originally only 800 dwarfs had actually multiplied to 900. They worked diligently, using the mine minerals to create various weapons for storage. At this moment, an elderly dwarf discovered Wu's conscious projection. Deity, thank you for granting us a good life. Wu not only sighed. After capturing the dwarfs, I had only issued one command. That is to let the dwarfs mine. It seems that the dwarfs' talent and passion lie in mining and crafting items. Forcing them to fight actually suppresses their nature. They have a talent for item crafting. We can have them focus on logistical resources. The furnace can be put to good use. Upon thinking about this, Wu immediately set up a large furnace in the dwarves' territory. The dwarves cheered. The deity bestowed a divine gift. On the other side, Letian Lu was in a meeting with other grade-level homeroom teachers. Everyone, regarding the job rotation test for Wu and the other two, the school has entrusted us with the leadership of this test. Do you have any thoughts on this? A homeroom teacher sneered. What else could there be to think about? Thank Teacher Lu for the generous gift. 3 top students collectively changed classes. You are giving benefits to the brothers. Letian Lu automatically ignored him. I don't care about the tests of Shuangqin and Xiaolongzhang. But Wu's. I must request that the test level be raised to the highest level. Such disrespectful students should be punished severely. Other class advisors immediately reconsidered upon hearing this. Wu, an orphan with no significant family background. It's better to take this opportunity to sell a favor to Letian Lu. The next day, Letian Lu took out 3 cards. He said to Wu and the other 2 people, "This is your test requirement." The assessment levels for Xiaolongzhang and Shuangqin are both level 1. Just need to withstand the invasion of 1,000 foreign races. While on Wu's side, it is a level 10 assessment test. Need to fend off 10,000 foreign races. Wu was suddenly stunned when seeing this scene. The difficulty of the assessment for oneself is actually 10 times that of the other 2. How terrifying is it when 10,000 red goblins invade the realm? Even a hero with 4 Tempest swords in hand. He was still severely injured. Just now, Wu drew a 10-fold difficulty test. Need to resist the invasion of 10,000 external tribes to achieve victory. Director Mei Su feels a bit reluctant. Regarding Wu's test, Teacher Lu should reconsider. However, Letian Lu said, this is a decision made by all grade homeroom teachers. Wu laughed and said, "It's okay. Director Su and Teacher Lu also hope that I can demonstrate my power in the new homeroom." Letian Lu felt furious when he saw Wu's disdainful attitude. "Kid, don't be too pleased with yourself," he muttered through gritted teeth. At this moment, Shuangqin stepped forward to persuade. "My offer still stands. As long as you become my slave, I guarantee that no one in the entire school, apart from me, will dare to bully you." Wu noticed her strong insistence on the matter of being a slave, so he gave a faint smile and replied, "I appreciate your kindness. Let's discuss this after the test." Shuangqin was rejected again. Frustrated, muttering under her breath, "Ungrateful fool." This is just what Xiaolongzhang wanted. He felt ecstatic. "Wu, you can look forward to embarrassing yourself. The test will begin shortly." 10,000 elite red goblins entered Wu's realm through the teleport gate. To Wu, these 10,000 red goblins are more troublesome than the demigod Gang Zhang's wolf riders. The classmates watching from outside started discussing. They heard that Wu's test is the most difficult. Who asked him to provoke Teacher Lu? Let's wait and see. At this moment, Wu cursed Teacher Lu in his heart. "Letian Lu, please act like a human. There are still so many goblins with flame resistance." Letian Lu chuckled on the side. "Oh Wu, blame it on you for rejecting my kindness. An army of 10,000 red goblins is enough to overrun your realm." The good news from other head teachers, who are friendly with him, was sent in advance. "Congratulations, Teacher Lu, on getting your revenge." Letian Lu feigned a long sigh. How could there be enmity between teachers and students? After this test, student Wu will surely understand the painstaking efforts we teachers put in. Director Mei Su couldn't be bothered to listen to Letian Lu's hypocritical words. She silently cheered on Wu from the side. "Keep it up, student Wu." On the other side, a full-scale battle between the two sides is about to erupt. Under Wu's command, a total of 2.6 billion locusts are swarming towards the Red Goblin army. But the Red Goblin is not to be outdone. They are also gathering fireballs in their hands. They are hitting the locusts one by one before they swarm in. In an instant, They turned tens of thousands of locusts into ash and smoke. The incarnation of Wu's divinity witnessed all of this. Ordinary locusts cannot cause any harm to the Red Goblin. So he waved his hand again, issued an oracle command to 5 million suicide locusts. Under the cover of ordinary locusts, they launched a terrifying suicide attack against the Red Goblin army. However, they only managed to kill 400 enemies. At the same time, Shuangqin and Xiaolongzhong walked out of the landing pod. Obviously, they have completed the level 1 difficulty test. Director Mei Su thought to herself, locusts are ultimately just low-level creatures. Even if they are well-trained, they cannot be on the table. It seems that the situation is not very good. There is no way. Wu can only use his secret weapon. After painstakingly accumulating 400,000 lava locusts, they have joined the battle. They are braiding the rain of fireballs and self-exploding in the midst of the Red Goblin army. A large amount of lava turned the entire area into a lava hell. Instantly took away 3,000 Red Goblins. But based on flame resistance, more than 6,000 Red Goblins are still remaining. They still charge mightily towards Wu's realm core. The onlookers, both teachers and students, all made various assertions. Wu is really finished this time. Although there is still a hero holding a bottom card. But can he really kill over 6,000 Red Goblins? Shuangqin says one thing and means another. Let him reject me. It's better to crush his realm core with the Red Goblin army. Director Mei Su immediately relayed the message to Wu upon seeing the situation. If you can't hold on, just admit defeat. Failure is not shameful. I believe that as long as you are given time, you will rise again quickly. However, Wu has already made up his mind. Director Su. Since I have decided to change shifts, I will persevere until the end. Even if it means fighting to the last soldier. It's worth it. Besides, I haven't lost yet. At this moment, the soft iron sword and the wind are simultaneously wielded in hand. For Tempest Swords, a large area is roiling with a raging blade. Any Red Goblin near the realm core have all suffered a fatal blow. Large numbers of Red Goblins are falling one after another. However, those Red Goblins standing behind are engaging in bloody battles while Iron-Cutting Swordwind is fighting. They are launching a rain of fireballs for long-range bombardment. The land around the realm core is dyed red with blood. Although the hero is very strong, it is still difficult to withstand the attack of thousands of rain of fireballs. In the end, when Iron-Cutting Swordwind slew more than 5,000 Red Goblins, he found himself in a critical condition. Letian Lu was overjoyed to see this situation. Wu the student. This is the final lesson that your teacher taught you. Study hard, okay? But before he could be happy for a few seconds, the other class teachers on the side exclaimed loudly, "Look! What is that?" At this moment, in front of Wu's realm core, I did not know when more than 900 dwarven army appeared. More than 1,000 Red Goblins simultaneously aggregated fireballs in their hands, preparing to deliver the final blow to the tenacious hero Iron-Cutting Swordwind. However, at this moment, a 900-strong fully armed dwarven army stood in the forefront. We swear to defend to the death. Hearing the awe-inspiring momentum of the dwarves, their low roar is as intimidating as a battle song, shaking the hearts of over 1,000 Red Goblins, who are trembling uncontrollably. When they realized what was happening, 900 dwarves had already swung their weapons. Kill the exhausted Red Goblin. The classmates watching from outside were all shocked. Isn't that been Zhang's core family dependents from before? Talented individuals. Such power will surely make it into the top 10 of the grade. As the fighting in the realm subsided, only a few dozen dwarves emerged victorious in the end. Wu is extremely excited. Although the locusts were almost completely wiped out. But the only consolation is, hero Iron-Cutting Swordwind has not fallen in battle. This result shocked Director Mei Su and Shuangqin quite a bit. It could even be said to be somewhat unbelievable. On the side, Letian Lu became even more angry. He specifically deceived 10,000 red goblins with flame resistance. I did not expect that Wu still had a trick up his sleeve. In no time, the small classroom was filled with the head teachers of various classes. They all extended olive branches to the three people. They were willing to offer any conditions without hesitation. But Wu did not respond. Shuangqin beside him waited for him to speak. Xiaolongjang looked at Shuangqin and also waited for Shuangqin to speak. After some contemplation, Wu said lightly, "Director Su, can I ask? Why is the difficulty of my test so high?" Director Meisu truthfully replied that the difficulty of individual tests is determined collectively by all grade homeroom teachers. Wu understands her meaning. He sneered. Then I would like to see their voting results. Is this okay? Director Meisu also holds a huge disdain towards the underhanded actions of Letian Lu. She simply passed the notebook over. At the same time, among the 12 head teachers present, 9 of them were silently cursing Letian Lu, thinking that they should not have helped Letian Lu. Wu found that 2 more head teachers had voted against it. He politely inquired, "If I join your class, what can you offer me?" The head teacher of Mediterranean hairdo said, "Wu, I see the power in your family's dwarf cultivation. If you join my class, I will provide you with a team of no less than 10,000 dwarves." On the other hand, another head teacher said, "The cultivation of core family dependence is the most important. I have some resources on hand that are very useful for the family dependence of the insected species. If you were to join my class, I will help you complete the life evolution of the entire family of locusts." Without hesitation, he immediately chose the second homeroom teacher. As soon as he finished speaking, Shuangqin also wanted to join. Xiaolongjang naturally followed behind Shuangqin. Wen Tian looked surprised and delighted on his face. Suddenly, 3 more excellent students were added. Looks like this year is the rhythm for winning the Excellent Teacher Award. Then he took out 3 exchange cards. "Come to my classroom. This is the teacher's gift for you." We received a level 2 building card, Mother Nest, capable of hatching 1 million insect creatures annually. Effect: it can perfectly display the effect of the holy relic embedded in Mother Nest. Wu immediately had a plan. He decided to build Mother Nest on the realm. You can also include Bursting Core and Magma Fire Gem. Embed both Grade 1 sacred items onto the Mother Nest. The Mother Nest will enhance the abilities of both. The perfect effect is applied to the insect eggs nurtured inside the Mother Nest. This way, 1 million lava locusts can be obtained every year. He thought of this and excitedly bowed to Wen Tian. Wen Tian smiled and said, "No need for grateful words. Showing better results would be the best way to repay me." Director Meisu suddenly announced, "Everyone, today's test is just a small trial. But in 7 days, the school's centralized exam is crucial. It relates to the future allocation of resources for each class. I don't need to emphasize the importance of it, right?" After returning home, we used the landing pod to enter the realm where locusts were swarming at a fast pace. Almost completely wiped out, they quickly recovered some numbers in a short period of time. However, the current strength is far from being able to participate in the centralized exam, so they must continue to recruit soldiers. Otherwise, they will become the bottom of the entire grade in 7 days. At this time, we discovered something unexpected. The name of the dwarf had changed. Surprisingly, the prefix red was added. We was very puzzled and immediately focused his consciousness on the mining area to witness it with his own eyes. But when he saw the dwarf, he was startled. The current red dwarf now had a body with red skin and blood vessels resembling magma. Unexpectedly evolved into a naturally born elite. It would be great if these are my core family dependents. You can only use more growth acceleration. First, restore family dependents to their previous size. 4 days have passed like this. The locusts have also multiplied to 7.3 billion. Wu clasped his hands together. Bless me. Hope to produce good results this time. After speaking, he used a sacrifice to turn the over 7 billion ordinary locusts into countless life energies surging into the sky within the sacrificial ritual circle. The man awakens the weakest locust family members in the world. But he evolved them into bursting locusts even bigger than humans. Just a few days ago, Wu sacrificed all 7.2 billion locusts in the realm. 3 options appeared before my eyes. Option 1. Obtain the Level 2 Holy Relic Gluttony Code Core, and gain the power of gluttony for family dependence. Consume food with total energy exceeding 1,000 times of own energy to complete self-evolution. Option 2. Assist an otherworldly life in ascending to hero status with the model of hero. Option 3. A touch of divinity. These 3 options far exceeded Wu's expectations. Any of the options would be helpful for it. But now the most suitable one must be chosen. The Gluttony Code can turn an ordinary locust. All turned into elites. But it costs a huge amount to maintain. In short, model of hero is like having one more hero, but with just a touch of divinity, equivalent to 100 trillion faith energy, which is 100 million MP. It's like winning the lottery. In the end, Wu decided to choose the Gluttony Code, even if he couldn't afford billions of elite locusts. He could only use it on the mother nest for now. Each year, he would cultivate millions of gluttony locusts. 3 days later, Wu logged back into his realm and was shocked. Oh my god! Are you a giant insect or a giant lizard? I declare. You are the Lava Locust Plus. Bursting Locust. The next day, Wu was stopped by Shuang Qin as soon as he teleported to school. Have you considered being my slave? You have no background or resources. With your current strength, it's impossible to stand out among the many demigod children. Your locust cultivation is indeed good, but ultimately too weak. While impressive in taming dwarfs, that is not your core family dependence. I don't want to hear any more. I appreciate your good intentions. Can I do it? We'll know after the exam. Shuang Qin wants to help but can't bring himself to do it. He can only stand by feeling anxious. Xiaolongzhang sees everything. Wu. One day it will happen. I will make you completely leave Shuang Qin's sight. In her eyes, there can only be me. At this time, the form teacher Wen Tian announced. This centralized exam determines the allocation of resources for the future of the class. It is very important. I also ask students to give their best performance. Students with outstanding academic performance. Holy Relic Realm of Land. Core Fragments. Family Dependence Legion and other reward resources are right in my hands. As long as you have the ability. Just take it. Later, when Tian was still in front of the students, he read out the examination rules for the centralized exam. Wu glanced at the centralized exam rules. Just a second ago, he was complaining that the assessment rules were too strict. Surprisingly, those who fail will actually be expelled from school. When he saw the rewards, he almost excitedly shouted out. This is much richer than the stuff he got with sacrifice 3 days ago. When Tian quietly said a sentence, the centralized exam is starting. The first round of elimination assessment of this centralized exam is about to begin. Candidates, please be prepared. Soon, Wu and other students were forcibly pulled into their respective realms. Wu immediately issued orders to all family dependents in the realm to prepare for battle. With his command, those locusts and dwarves all aggregated together. At this moment, within the thick fog, muscular flesh golems with exploding muscles walked out from the teleport gate. Wu is very surprised. It's just an elimination match. Is it necessary to play this big? Although this thing is an ordinary life form, it has combat power comparable to the average elite. And it is extremely resistant to attacks with tough skin and thick flesh. Fortunately, it moves slowly. Saying that, he reached out and summoned 50,000 lava locusts to the stage for battle, initiating a magma self-explosion. Soon, those flesh golems were completely wiped out. Wu could faintly smell the aroma of roasted meat. A huge amount of food is coming. Red Dwarf, drag the flesh golem's body back to me. After hearing the oracle, all the red dwarfs rushed forward one after another. After a quarter of an hour, those flesh golems were eaten clean by locusts, leaving only bones. Wu joked, "This is not an exam. It's clearly a meal delivery." On the other side, the class teachers watching outside sighed in succession. "Oh my, 20 students have been eliminated from my class, reducing by a third. Isn't the difficulty of this centralized exam a bit beyond the scope?" Director Mesu explained. "The principal, accompanied by 3 vice principals, is at the front line competing with the Magic Abyss civilization for the choice of the dimension and the flesh golem as the invading enemy for the elimination assessment. There must be a reason for this. It's not for us demigods to speculate." However, at this moment, Teacher Wention suddenly exclaimed in alarm, "What a clever boy! The flesh golem that others see as a nightmare has arrived here." It actually became food for the family dependents to feed on. Quite skillful. Moreover, the family dependents are able to resist the toxins contained in the flesh golem's flesh and blood. This has left the teachers from other classes extremely surprised. Can locusts ignore the toxins of the flesh golem? This is indeed a new discovery with research value. Letian-Lu snorted coldly. "Just got lucky. Just happened to hit the target by accident. His locusts are just garbage." When Wention heard him insulting his own students, he couldn't help but speak up in disagreement. Luck is also a part of one's strength. I think the locusts he has cultivated are quite strong in terms of strength. Although it can only be considered as a presence at the bottom of otherworldly life, it is still considered as having crossed the threshold of entering the otherworldly. Letian-Lu disagrees. Even so, in some respects, he is not as good as Goblin Wention thinks. He is very superficial. The advantage of locusts is their reproductive power, which can increase the population 1,000-fold in just 1 year. Letian-Lu was shouting on the side. "In my class, there is a student named Mo Lu, and his family dependents are goblins. Dare to bet on their final grades?" Wention was annoyed. "What's not to dare? Let's bet." Letian-Lu asked all the teachers to be witnesses. "We will bet on a score of 5 points in divinity." Wention readily agreed. "It's a deal." Letian-Lu began to smirk. "Wention, this time you won't lose out. Mo Lu is my own nephew. Are you willing to give the resources I've given to him to Wu? This is a hero who can manipulate bones. Now he has been arranged to participate in the student's centralized exam." Even the invigilating teachers were shocked. Just a while ago, the elimination round had just ended. There were only 430 students left in the ranking assessment. Among them, 130 chose to give up the exam. Those teachers were not surprised. After all, the centralized exam is too difficult. It is normal for some people to withdraw. However, after the teleport gate opened, what appeared were walking skeleton soldiers, with a number of about 100,000. Upon seeing such weak assessment monsters, the class teachers all showed surprised expressions. "Isn't this just giving away points?" Wu looked disappointed. "I have over 1 billion hungry little locust babies here. Are you trying to make things difficult for me?" After speaking, he issued the oracle. Ordered the more than 1 billion locusts to launch an attack. Soon, the swarm of locusts transformed into a dark cloud, colliding with the skeleton soldier invading the realm. After 2 hours, the battle finally ended. Wu squatted on the ground, unable to muster any enthusiasm. It was truly a noob infighting. Extremely boring. However, the second wave of monsters in the assessment consisted of around 100,000 skeleton soldiers, with a mix of many elite iron bone skeletons among them. Wu, ordinary locusts cannot be sent to die anymore. This wave decides to use suicide locusts. When with a combination of lava locusts. Wu noticed the lethality of lava ground against skeleton soldiers. He had an idea. If the lava continues to pile up, skeleton soldiers won't be able to swim through the lava. A slightly higher temperature would be better. Red Dwarf poured the scorching magma from the furnace into the lava ground. His voice fell. The red dwarf standing on the hill immediately poured out the molten iron in the container frantically. As a result, the ground near the teleport gate immediately turned into a death zone. As soon as a new skeleton soldier appeared, it would be annihilated instantly. This move left the teachers outside astonished. "Wow, this young person's ideas are truly unique," when Tion chuckled. "Who is this cute little student in our class?" On the side, Letian Lu disdainfully said, "What's so great about it? Just made it through to the 7th wave, right? Mo Lu from our class also made it to the 7th wave." In Mo Lu's realm, he not only has a large number of goblin family dependents, but also 13 arrow towers, 9 thunder towers, 12 flame towers, and so on. The total value is no less than 10 million MP. Letian Lu is overjoyed. "Which one of you is tougher than me? So much resources have been invested. Isn't Mo Lu the first in this centralized exam?" Just when he was daydreaming, more exclamations of surprise came from the side. Look at Shuang Qin's realm. Only see Shuang Qin's realm. There are 100 thunder towers alone. There are 300,000 elite storm finches in total. There are 100 Treant giants in otherworldly life. Those teachers all exclaimed that the heiress of the Qin family is indeed very strong. Others have wealth in their family, but she has a family within the mine. Even her own demigod identity is not as powerful as hers. Truly lavish. All 10 waves of skeleton soldiers were quickly annihilated. Out of 300 candidates who passed, only 18 remain. And the next wave of invasion is coming. The difficulty will increase significantly. Soon, a figure walks out from the teleport gate. The teachers reacted the fastest. When they recognized the figure, they all exclaimed in unison, "Oh my God! It's a hero!" A regular hero wouldn't make the teachers lose their composure. It's because this hero can manipulate skeletons. Necromancer Skeleton Tribe Hero Skeletal Manipulation Skeletal Fusion. At the first moment of its invasion into the realm, the scattered bone fragments on the ground seemed to be guided by some force, all converging towards the necromancer. 10 waves of skeleton soldiers, totaling over 1 million. The shattered bones produced are enough to pile up into a mountain. Under the control of the necromancer, countless broken bones aggregate and deform. In an instant, they aggregate into a skeleton giant as large as a mountain. They have appeared, they have appeared. The monster in the 11th round of assessment is actually a hero. I saw the necromancer raise the staff in his hand. Countless broken bones scattered on the ground seemed to be responding to some kind of guidance. In the blink of an eye, it aggregated into a skeleton giant as large as a mountain. At the moment it just formed, it began to unleash astonishing destructive power. A punch can shatter mountains. A stomp can split the ground. Family dependents, who had the upper hand before, have suffered unprecedented heavy blows one after another. Less than 3 minutes. 8 students' core family dependents couldn't resist, and were crushed into debris by the skeleton giant's foot. The teachers participating in the appearance battle were sweating profusely. This is just too difficult. 8 students chose to withdraw from the assessment due to heavy losses. On the side, Letian Lu was always watching Wu's realm. Something is not right. Why is the volume of the skeleton giant in the Wu realm so much smaller? There's an issue. He cheated. In other realms, skeleton giants are gigantic mountain-sized beings. However, in the Wu realm, not even one skeleton giant is as tall as a hill. When Tion quickly spotted something suspicious. That's because most of the shattered bones in the Wu realm have been burnt to ashes by lava. The necromancer naturally couldn't display their full power. At the same time, waiting for Tempest Swords with the Iron-Cutting Swordwind. Use self-created move Iron-Cut. Quickly annihilated all the monsters in the 11th wave of the assessment. The system quickly broadcasted, the 11th wave is invading. Past. At this moment, Wu is yawning out of boredom. Originally thought the assessment would be difficult, didn't expect it to be this easy. Letian-Lu looked at him with a disdainful expression. Suddenly exclaimed, "This is cheating! Definitely cheating! Wu must have stolen the answers." When Tian immediately retorted, "Do you have any evidence that he stole the answers?" Letian-Lu, however, said, "When Tian, you are covering up for your student. Be careful, I will report you to the educational institution." Everyone is wise. Who can't see that Wu is acting abnormally against the skeleton soldier? Who would actively clean up the battlefield after defeating the skeleton soldier? Unless he knows in advance that the necromancer will appear. Clean up the broken bones on the battlefield can effectively reduce the strength of the necromancer. I seriously doubt it. Wu knew the exam questions in advance. This is a serious cheating behavior. The school must investigate thoroughly. When Tian was speechless for a moment. After all, this matter seemed too much of a coincidence. Director Meisu came over to explain at this point. The content of this centralized exam was assigned by the principal right before departure. Even I don't know the specific details. If we really stole the questions, it can only be leaked by the principal. Teacher Lu, do you think the principal would do such a foolish thing? Upon hearing this, Letian-Lu immediately broke out in a cold sweat. I was mistaken. It turns out that we relied on luck to defeat the necromancer. However, even if he did not cheat, there is still a significant amount of luck involved in his performance. This is very unfair to other students. Meisu became even more angry. Teacher Lu, as a demigod, said such ridiculous things. Civilization of the divine realm nurtures seeds. The talking has never been fair, but rather survival of the fittest. No matter how student will achieve good grades, as long as it's not cheating, this grade should belong to him. The 21st wave of monsters in the assessment is actually a Lord entity. Even Wu, who took the top spot in the overall grades, praised it. That chest muscle is just too big.